Hi everybody, it's Guild Ball week here on Base of War, and we have some fantastic prizes to give away. So we have 3 copies of the Guild Ball Kickoff set to give away. That's the Brewers and the Masons, one of the perfect ways to get you and a mate into the game. Now, for your chance to win, get your comments in on any of the Guild Ball content this week on Base of War, YouTube or Facebook. Winners will be announced in a future episode of The Weekender, so stay tuned. Everybody, it's time for another look at one of the Guild Ball factions. Today it is the Morticians Guild. So these are the guys who are, what, the medics, or are they the people that just deal with people that are dead?
They deal with dead people, yeah.
Dead people, okay. Well, I do have an image of them, and they are very, very, very creepy looking guys.
Yeah.
So who all do we have?
So on the left there, with the bird on his shoulder, is Silence, and the bird is their mascot called Dirge. Then you've got Graves, whose title is Dr. Death. Then you've got Obulus and his big feather cloak, then Gast, then Casket, and then Casket at the end there with the big coffin on his back.
Okay, and stuff for these guys, I'm guessing, is just control?
Yes, they are all about control. They are morally, we've talked about the Masons being morally one of the best factions in the game. Yep. These guys are down there among the worst.
Alright, so they're the shitty dealings.
Yes,
sort of most definitely. Kind of
yeah, they're very much, their entire playstyle is all about messing with their opponent, and making their life difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like that. It's interesting to see the way you're looking at each faction, and it does feel right the way each one plays. So it feels right that the Butchers are hammering people into the ground. It feels right that the Masons are building up to actually do what they need to do. It feels right that the Hunters are trapping and holding people back. And it feels right that these guys seem to be doing, well, nasty necromantic things, shall we say.
They've got a lot of tricks, and they've got a lot of things. A lot of their models have abilities that if you hit them, it's good for them.
Really?
Yeah. So for example, this lad here is called Gast.
Okay, so
and he's really cool because he has an ability called Fear, where if you want to attack him, it costs an extra, the first time each turn costs an extra influence. So that's draining your opponent's resources, and the first time he gets damaged each turn, the friendly team gains 2 momentum.
Wow.
So he is just a pain to attack.
He's really good at locking down players that want... Let's say you've got a striker there who needs to tackle the ball, dodge away, sprint, have a shot on goal. They can't against him because they've got to spend 2 influence just to hit him the first time.
Yeah, and he also has a momentous knockdown on, I think, column 1, maybe column 2 on his playbook.
I think 2.
So he's very, very good at just locking people down, and if they try and walk away, he just knocks them down with that lovely big saw he's got.
Yeah, the weapon he has is incredibly scary.
Yeah. It's just a massive, you can see on the artwork we've got behind us, it's just a massive saw he's got.
Yeah, it's just like a big-ass bone saw.
That's actually one of the requests we get most often for like an alt sculpt, is because obviously the model is gorgeous, it's full of motion, but I would love to see a sculpt of Gast just standing there.
In that menacing pose?
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Next up, we have this gentleman.
So this is Obulus, the sort of the dreaded captain of the Morticians. He is the single biggest control piece in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can make you walk where he wants you to, make you pass the ball, make you attack your own friends, and also buff his own friends with confidence. You will go and do this.
Yeah.
Hang on.
He's all about like Jedi mind tricks. Yeah. Well, Sith mind tricks, I imagine it would
be. He can make you pass the ball.
Yes.
To him or his own team,
Yeah.
Oh.
His
That's going to be so annoying for some people.
Yeah, it really is.
His ability is called Puppet Master, and it's one of the most. It costs 4, so it's about a quarter of your team's influence every turn, a third of your team's influence every turn. But it's so enormously powerful, and it's one of those abilities that the more you use it, the more you see ways it can be used. Like it's a very, very high skill ceiling. And he's also in the background. He's one of the main villains of the piece.
I see.
Yeah, he's one of those kind of puppet mastery guys that's controlling everything behind the scenes.
So he's just, you have the shadow plays being done the whole time.
But he doesn't even really care about his own team. His own team are just...
Everything's a piece on a chessboard for him.
Exactly, yeah. And in the Season 2 background, and I won't say who, but because I don't want to give it away for people, but in the Season 2 background, he lets one of his own players get killed just because it furthers his plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
It benefits him.
Yeah, benefits him
so
personally.
Totally amoral, so long as he gets what he wants done, he's happy.
Exactly, yeah.
Very much so.
All right. Let's move along to someone else. Who do we have here?
So this is Casket.
Yes, yep.
And she looks very nice and seductive, but she's
beautiful little sort of Morticia Adams thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. Very Morticia Adams. Yeah, but she is stone cold crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. She as we've said before with some models, they have a role called Crazy, where they can take damage to get extra dice on attacks.
I see.
And she actually has a really good synergy with Scourge, which is their mascot, who's a big raven there.
Yeah.
And if, as we've talked about before, if Scourge is engaging a model, then she gets an extra dice and extra damage against that model.
Oh.
And she gets to charge for free as well.
Nice.
So for free, she can, if Scourge is engaging the model, she can charge and roll, I think it's 13 dice.
Yes.
Yeah, 13 dice. It's 13 up to 15.
All right, now hang on. For someone that doesn't play Guild Ball, 15 dice, they're thinking, oh right, I can do 15 damage. Is that the case here?
No. So in Guild Ball, whenever you roll a dice and you are successful with your hits after any negatives from armor, you unlock columns on your playbook. And what that allows you to do is you can pick any result from that. Now, she's got a 5-long playbook, so with 15 dice, you are very likely to get more than 5 hits.
Yeah.
And what that means is you can unlock everything once, choose whatever you want, and then you start again with any additional hits.
Yeah.
Right.
So she can really
you unlock a second run on it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say you go to the end of the playbook and you do like 3 damage, which goes up to 4, and then on the second run you get that again. You do 4 more damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Off one attack, which is like ridiculously high. Yeah.
Or that's very, very high. But the trade-off is, of course, she's not wearing any armor and she's quite fragile herself. And because she's damaging herself to do that, she's a little bit easier to take down.
Yeah, you sort of have to manage how far you're going with the crazy.
Exactly, yeah. You have to constantly keep that in mind, that is a resource, and if you're sending her in, she's going to be vulnerable afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. Let's grab someone else. He's interesting.
Yep.
So this is Graves, is it?
Yes.
It's a Graves. Dr. Death, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah, he got thrown, there's rumours that he got thrown out of the Physicians Guild for inappropriate experiments.
I see.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. I haven't seen a Physicians Guild yet.
So the Physicians Guild are, when you get taken out on the pitch, the Physicians Guild are the guys that run on with stretchers and carry you off and patch you up and send you back on.
Right, so they don't actually play yet?
No, they've sworn to be completely neutral, and in return, each of the guilds gives them a certain amount of money every year.
I see.
And the Physicians basically look after the players, because each player can be quite an expensive resource, so it's worth the other guilds paying for the Physicians to sort of keep everything.
Got it. So it's sort of that Hippocratic Oath.
Exactly. Yes.
Got it. All right. Someone else. This looks interesting. With another pair of bone saws.
Yeah.
Who is this?
He is Bonesaw. That is his name.
Oh right.
And he's a striker, but he's a very Mortician style striker.
Right.
So he gets an additional defense the first time he scores a goal for the rest of the game. And he has a trick where he can pass the ball to a friendly model, and then they can immediately pass it back. And he can dodge off those passes. So he really, his actual out and out without unmodified threat range is quite low, but when you take that into account, he starts moving around and he gets a lot of movement and shenanigans.
Yeah, because every time you make a successful pass, you're gaining momentum, which allows you to do a 4-inch dodge.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, is there anyone else that really jumps out that you want to see?
Well, we'll show you veteran Graves, because
we've seen Dr. Death.
We've seen Dr. Death. So this represents Graves slightly, as we said in the timeline. The characters can move on. They can be injured, or in this case, Graves has discovered that he's got quite a liking for rats. He goes down a little bit of an emo phase and realizes that no one actually likes him very much. And he's trapped in the Morticians, and he feels he should be able to get out, because the Morticians are this collection of freaks and savages.
Yes.
But he's too sort of blind to realize that he fits in perfectly.
Yeah.
And so he thinks he's better than them. He's trying to get out, but no one will talk to him because he's in the Morticians.
Yeah.
So the only people that talk to him are the rats.
It's an interesting twist on the story. It's quite harsh.
Yeah.
So kudos for going for a nice, harsh story. But how does his abilities change?
So essentially, he now, instead of in his initial version, he has tooled up and he has scything blow. So he comes in with this big stick, slashes around at everyone.
Yeah.
Causes them to bleed as well.
Yeah. Because he's a doctor, he knows exactly where to cut.
Yeah, so now with this new version.
So now he has synergy with the Mortician's second mascot, which is called Vile Swarm. But it's just literally a swarm of rats. Okay. And if that gets taken out, he can bring it back as a heroic play.
Yeah.
He can make it hit harder, and he also has a rule called Gravedigger, which he targets an enemy model with it, and if it hits, if that model gets taken out this turn, you get an additional victory point.
So kind of like in the Hunters with Cena, this is one of those ones that can target the mascots and make them either 2 victory points, or if you use it twice, you get your 6 victory points from taking out a regular player.
Yeah.
I have to say, the Morticians, they sound like a very interesting guild. They sound like one of those higher tier, guilds that you're not going to want to maybe take your first run out onto the pitch with.
They're very much like, because so many of their abilities are sort of control based, you have to know what your opponent's trying to do so you can stop them. And that's something that comes more with experience. They're one that I maybe would say, maybe not for your first couple of games, maybe give something else a try and then come back once you kind of know the basics.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, guys, drop your comments in below. Is the style of the Morticians grabbing you? Is there tactics, the idea of controlling the pitch, getting, under your skin and saying, I want to play that? Do you already play them? Do you have any tips, tricks, or tactics do you want to share with everybody? Get your comments in below. We will move on, and we will see you in the next one. Hi everyone, we hope you're enjoying this themed week. Make sure you don't miss any of it by checking out the playlist, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button to ding our dong so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, come across and join us on beastofwar.com for more great gaming content and a fantastic community. Also, get your comments in for your chance to win.